starting out with the categories, I believe, are going to go with strength, durability, speed, agility, intelligence, battle intelligence, overall experience, skill, combat, abilities, weapons, and then winner.
Let's start with the first one.
Alright. With overall strength, this includes physical, lifting, and striking. I'm pretty sure that's it. It was stated that Destroyer was physically superior to Burning Godzilla, who could lift a 150 metric ton Super Mech Godzilla and throw him with relative ease. Not to mention, it was also stated that kaizer Godzilla could lift Biollante, who was a staggering 200,000 metric tons, and for Destroyer to absolutely be kicking his ass in the movie and just overall ragdolling him. Did you hear any of that, or do I need to restart?
I heard about Biollante and Destroyer was kicking his butt.
Yeah.
I'm guessing now I argue for Kaizer, in his case.
Alright, so the categories are strength, speed, agility, durability, power, combat, skill, intelligence, battle intelligence, overall experience, battle experience, and winner. That's the categories.
Alright.
Alright, so starting out with strength, I guess I'll go with Destroyer first. He was able to overpower Burning Godzilla, who could indeed lift Biollante, who weighs a staggering 200,000 metric tons. And not to mention, a few years later, he was able to lift a lighter 1,000 metric. What's in the background, bro? 150,000 metric ton Mechagodzilla, and with ease, with relative ease.
Okay. Now I have two arguments for Kaizer Ghidorah. First of all, it was said that Monster X was able to fight on par with Final Wars Godzilla in terms of strength, maybe even superior to him. And Final Wars did lift Kaizer Ghidorah, meaning that Kaizer could probably lift upwards of 100,000 tons. However, that is not my only argument. His anti-gravity beams, meaning he has potential infinite strength given he can literally lift anything with anti-gravity.
Yeah, but if I know he was said to be on par, if not slightly superior to Kaizer Godzilla, but he with kaizer he was able to lift a heavier, almost double the weight of Kaizer. He was able.
There is again anti-gravity. It can lift literally anything because that's how it works.
But then again, Space Godzilla could use anti-gravity as well, which could get to 4.
Well, Space Godzilla isn't part of this debate. If he was, then it would matter. But it's Destroyer cannot use anti-gravity.
And Destroyer was superior to any past villain, which would include Space Godzilla. So, if you really think about the statement...
That doesn't mean he could use anti-gravity, it just means that he was stronger than Space Godzilla in a fight. Doesn't mean he can use anti-gravity. Kaizer Ghidorah still has infinite strength because he has gravity. Destroyer does not.
It's unknown if anti-gravity could even affect him, but...
Well, I mean...
For the sake of this, we're just going to say it does. For the sake of this.
Meaning Kaizer would actually win strength.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Going with speed, this would be travel speed, meaning how fast he can go. I guess you'll start this one.
Well, unfortunately, Kaizer, he can fly, but only in a comic book, so we don't know if in live action he could fly, and even if he could, we don't know how fast he is, so it's not really... yeah.
Alright, so Destroyer was able to dodge Burning Godzilla's beams for the time being, which could almost reach the speed of light, apparently, and he was said to be slightly faster than Heisei Rodan, who has a confirmed speed of Mach 2. So this could put him anywhere between Mach 2, Mach 3 to possibly Mach 4 in terms of actual travel speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for this, destroy again.
I wasn't going to argue that Kaiser will win speed.
Yeah, so for this, Destroyer gets speed. Yeah. For agility, Destroyer doesn't have the best of agility, but he still has a better agility than what Kaiser ever showed. He was able to again dodge Burning Godzilla's beams for the time being, and even able to knock him down a few times by simply dodging and rushing at him. And I don't recall Kaiser Ghidorah again ever really moving from one spot.
Yeah, agility, I mean, he doesn't really have any good agility.
So agility goes to Destroy. This would be 2, 1, and 2. Now, for durability, you go first.
Right, well, in the movie, again, now I know Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah are different kaiju, but it is said that Kaiser Ghidorah is superior to Monster X in a way. So, Monster X was able to basically tank Final Wars' beam head-on with no visible damage. And by that logic, we can assume that Kaiser Ghidorah is more durable than Monster X, meaning he could probably tank Final Wars' beam even easier than Monster X did.
Yeah, and that beam itself could destroy a meteor pretty.
Yeah.
Slow it down and then destroy it. Now for Destroyer. He was able to take several shots of the
infinite heat.
Of the infinite heat ray and the burning spiral ray.
Yeah.
The burning spiral ray was stated to be far superior than the red spiral ray, which has a temperature of 2.2 million degrees Fahrenheit. And for it to be stronger, that would put it possibly beyond that. And with the infinite heat ray getting infinite in strength, and he was able to tank 5 to 6 shots of it before it actually showed visible damage.
Yeah.
So that would make it way hotter than the center of the sun.
Yeah.
And I don't know how hot Final Wars is being.
Final Wars is average return breath heat is 500,000 degrees Celsius, which is the same as Heisei's, like normal return breath heat. So, yeah.
It would be so. Destroyer gets durability as he was just able to tank more.
Yeah.
From a more powerful beam with no visible damage. Moving on to power. So, I guess I'll start with this one. Destroyer was able to absolutely destroy Burning Godzilla in long range and close quarters fighting, although long range was kind of almost equal. So, in Burning Godzilla was said that his meltdown... Now, there's two things. We have meltdown and the explosion. The explosion was prevented, but it was a threat to the universe itself. It was prevented, but the meltdown could never be prevented. It was going to destroy the Earth. And Destroyer was fighting a Earth-destroying Godzilla, which and still winning. Even in Meltdown, it was kind of relatively close. And I know that the meteor was almost, I believe it took out a good chunk of Toki. But
well, that's because it was vastly decreased in size and power and speed from Final Wars' beam, so...
Yeah. Anyway, what's your power
the
for
power.
Kaiser?
Well, Kaiser Ghidorah was able to both physically and close and long range destroy Final Wars, and in close range combat, Final Wars is one of the best fighters of any Godzilla in terms of melee combat, and his beam has such great knockback that I think that Kaiser being able to destroy him in both categories is pretty good. But also, one of his abilities being the energy absorption, meaning he can absorb the power of kaiju who gets near him.
Yeah.
So he could probably absorb Destroyer's power, and he was also able to easily outpower Final Wars' beam, which was able to destroy a potentially planet-level meteor. So I don't think he wins this category, but it's not a very easy win for Destroyer in this category.
For the energy absorption, Destroyer does have his micro-oxygen, but I don't know if it could actually affect Kaiser, but it could definitely confuse. I think
we don't know if, again, energy absorption, like, he would just absorb the energy, and we don't know if he would end up absorbing the micro-oxygen as well.
And Destroyer he did absorb Junior's energy with the micro-oxygen absorption or whatever.
I can't imagine it's anywhere near as powerful as Kaiser Ghidorah's energy absorption, though.
Yeah, but for this, I'd say power goes to the.
I think you could make an argument for Kaiser winning this with like him being able to outdo Final Wars in like 2 categories, and also in like energy absorption. But I don't know.
But here's the thing: it was potentially planetary level, Burning being fully planetary level. So I would say Destroyer gets power, but it's close. He gets it, but it's close.
It's close, yeah.
Moving on to combat. You start this one.
Alright, well, Kaiser Ghidorah, as I mentioned, was able to basically ragdoll Final Goji, who was said to have planet-destroying power, and destroy by dictionary definition means completely basically entirely, meaning that Final Wars could destroy the entire planet, not just on the surface level, but the entire thing. And Kaiser, also Final Wars is a very great melee fighter, and he was able to basically ragdoll him with his beams and just like picking him up easily. So I think Kaiser's pretty good off in combat, not to mention how skilled Monster X was in combat as well.
Now, I know Destroyer, he has those arms which really don't do much. He still was able to
Destroyer's kind of stiff. He's kind of that's why I think that Kaiser should win this category, is because Destroyer's a stiff. Destroyer
has okay combat. It's definitely nowhere near Kaiser. So Kaiser gets the strength category, not the strength, combat category.
Yeah, combat.
For skill, I really don't. Destroyer really has no battle experience, so he only attacked the first thing he saw and just absorbed its energy. For Junior, he was able to, I wouldn't say outskill him, but he was able to just with his sheer. Well, this
Kaiser was able to outskill one of the most skilled Godzillas in terms of combat.
Yeah.
Not to mention the statement that he is the strongest Ghidorah in his universe, meaning that you'd think they'd say that, meaning he had fought other Ghidorahs, meaning he would have acquired some experience fighting other kaiju as well.
So, Destroyer doesn't have any skills. So
yeah, Kaiser meanwhile has hypothetical skill, and he does show good levels of skill on screen as well.
So Destroyer loses this category and it goes to Kaiser. It's the same as combat. He really doesn't have much to offer.
IQ now. I'll let you start this one.
Alright. For intelligence, Destroyer was able. Well, this really goes to battle experience. I'm not gonna say it, but Destroyer doesn't have much to offer here either. He's kind of just attacks the first thing he sees, no questions asked. He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't really. He just attacks the first thing he sees. He doesn't really think about doing it. He really has no intelligence in general.
Kaiser, on the other hand, this is more battle intelligence, but they're kind of one in the same, sort of. He was able, in Monster X, when he was able to communicate with Gigan, and they were able to use battle strategies together, formulate plans how to take down the Final Wars. And, I think that alone gives him the win, given he was able to use teamwork, something that Destroyer probably never would do, since he would just end up killing his teammate.
Yeah, so for
both
category, for both categories, Destroyer was able to outsmart but that was again with his sheer power. But
I mean, he was able to outsmart maybe Godzilla or Jr., but Godzilla and Jr. themselves act mostly based on animalistic instincts, where Final Wars has he does show like his battle IQ is shown to be quite good.
And humans, but it's to a very limited degree.
I think IQ and battle IQ both go to Kaiser, just due to him being able to use teamwork and yeah.
Now we're going to experience. Now this does not mean battle experience, it means like age overall.
Okay, life experience, I mean, Destroyer was quite young, he was only really a few weeks old. Now I know the little Destroyers were like billions of years old, but that's a weird one, because are the memories of them all combined into Destroyer, or is it just his own new memories? If it's
I would say it's all their memories.
Yeah, probably. So Destroyer would win experience, but battle experience.
But he has none. He has absolutely none.
Yeah, he just kind of went in there guessing, whereas Kaiser has hypothetical experience fighting other Ghidorahs.
Now we have overall winner. Honestly, I think Kaiser wouldn't be able to actually kill Destroyer. He's way too durable.
I don't think Kaiser could kill Destroyer. Give him a very good fight and do significant damage, yes.
But then again, Destroyer has that regeneration. So any significant damage could be
Kaiser, hypothetically. I mean, he does. I think, how I think the fight would basically. Destroyer would win, but he would get ragdolled by the anti-gravity beams. He would get out-skilled in combat. I think Destroyer would win just through his sheer amount of power. He holds oxygen.
Although he possibly could, again, with his speed and agility, he could just hit Kaiser and keep knocking him down, and then getting close up and landing some hits before flying away. So he's doing a hit and run tactic, even though he could just rush in there and take him down.
I'd say Destroyer wins, but it's definitely maybe a high to mid. No, I think a high diff. I think Kaiser would put up too good of a fight for it to be a mid diff. I think Destroyer wins high diff with some damage done to him.
Now, even though this is excluding scaling, if we do scaling, Destroyer outscales.
Yeah, he like Kaiser is probably planetary, given it said he could destroy the planet and probably do more than that, but we don't know into his full power.
I get statements from sarcastic edits. Currently, he can get to multi to even hyper, but for the sake of this, we ain't using scaling. We're just using feats and some degree.
I mean, being comic kaiju, yeah, but if a kaiju destroyed a universe and that's their universe, wouldn't they also destroy themselves?
Depends on the power level. If he's, say, above universal, then maybe not.
That's why I don't really think that any live-action kaiju goes, except for Burning Godzilla, since he does have stuff to prove that he is at least at like the highest point multiversal, but that's like highest ends Burning is multiversal in my opinion.
So, in my opinion, I say Destroyer. This is again without scaling or feats, or else he'd absolutely nig. But it would be, in my opinion, mid to high difficulty.
I would say, yeah, I think mid to high diff is a good conclusion.
Again, really,
high diff regions for this fight.
If we go with absolute physical strength, excluding the gravity, he does get physical strength, but that's about it with strength. But like I said, Destroyer, it's really his speed and durability that kind of wins him the day.
Yeah, now obviously if we're with scaling, I know that Destroyer would but here's the thing, statements and that, some statements are viewed as the word of God, set in stone, whereas some statements are viewed as absolute rubbish. So I think that statements are kind of iffy, unless they are proven on screen or set in stone, then I don't believe most of them. And I know that with scaling, Destroyers some of the Heisei scaling stuff is way too just no.
I know it was also stated in the movie with Heisei Rodan versus Heisei Godzilla that their fight could potentially pose a threat to the Earth, but it was even said by
You're gonna tell me that Heisei Rodan at base and like he's a somewhat big threat to the Earth. Like I don't.
I
see
said
it.
they're fights, but
But
that one
the
of the
same thing
characters
was said of Showa, Godzilla, and Kong fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna think that. So why would we think that for? Yeah.
It's also stated that burning Godzilla's explosion it's a force unseen since the beginning of time.
I know. The
the
burning
universe, so
Godzilla.
that'd be the
Yeah,
big
burning
bang.
Godzilla is the strongest live action Godzilla.
That would be the big bang with the explosion. So it'd be a universal destroying explosion.
Yeah.
almost.
But it would kill him also. So technically, yeah, I'd say burning is probably Uni plus.
That's with that one statement. It is confirmed because the guy said it would be
Yeah, if
possible.
it's said in a movie or is like if it's in a movie a statement, then I'll believe it because you can't argue.
But we never get to see it, although it is said. Anyway, Destroyer wins this mid-high difficulty without scaling. Also, I'm hoping that we can actually do more Heisei Kaijus versus Final Wars Kaijus or even MV.
Okay, well, if we bring the MV into this, then well, actually, no, you do think that Final Wars beats MV because you are just a great person. Yes.
I mean, it won't be an easy fight. No.
Yeah,
it won't
MV's
be an easy fight.
just overwhelming presence over like Final Wars, but I think Final Wars would win by just tiring out because MV has like very limited energy and stamina in melee combat. Like he was getting decimated by the Mutos. He was tired fighting Kong. Like Final Wars would just tire him out, and then he would start to really wreck his ass. Like, I'm sorry, but Final Wars would win.
Yeah. So was this
Also,
like a
it's like
video or
I
something?
actually did this. Like, let me send this in the GC. You can just read this. This is this is gonna be my next video. It's gonna be MV vs Final Wars.